T. Higgins stays healthy, he has upside to be a top 15 play in fantasy the rest of the year.
Jameson Williams, the reason why I like him, he's a young, fast receiver. They're putting up points. They're the second highest scoring team in the NFL. Kyren Williams, I think maybe he's starting to slow down a little bit. The last 3 weeks, he put up 10 fantasy points for you, 11 fantasy points, and this last week he put up 8.6.
Patrick Mahomes. This is the worst we've seen Mahomes play in his career. Panic meter for Mahomes, I'd go 8.5 out of 10. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Catching a Vibe. I'm your host, Drew, joined by the co-host, Mike. It's week 12 already. That's crazy to me. I feel like this season has flown by, but we're back with more breakouts and busts for the rest of the year. It's part 3, baby. You guys have been enjoying it. We enjoy doing this week. You excited for who we're about to talk about?
Oh, yeah. We're so close to playoffs that you need to have these players in so you can win. You need wins to get into the playoffs. So I think we got a couple good players for you to mention. So I'm ready. I'm ready to get it done.
All right. So we're going to start off with breakouts. And my first breakout is a guy who's on a bye week this week, but he just came back and lit it on fire. T. Higgins. First came back from injury. He had 13 targets, 9 catches for 148 yards and a touchdown. If T. Higgins stays healthy, he has upside to be a top 15 play in fantasy the rest of the year with how Burrow is playing and the volume he gets. He's had games of 10, 14, and 13 targets, and the lowest target game he had was 6. He scored 29 points twice. He's averaging 18.5 a game. He has a bye week, like I mentioned, but he's almost a must start every week after. Like, he's a great play. People are forgetting how good he is when he plays.
For sure. T. Higgins is a great play. This guy is on an explosive offense, and he does put up big numbers for you. You're right. I agree with that. I like T. Higgins as well. He's a great start for you. So Terry McLaurin is going to be my breakout player. Last week he only put up 2 points for you, but that was Philly's defense. They're shutting down everybody. But the weeks before that, he's been averaging over 15 points. He's had 17 and a half 4 weeks ago, 15.9, 16.3. So this guy is putting up good fantasy numbers for you. He's going against Dallas. Dallas's defense is 26th in total defense and 17th in passing defense. So I think Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin are going to start taking off again. Their schedule, they got Dallas this week, Tennessee next. Tennessee's decent. Then they got a bye. But I think Terry McLaurin is a great breakout play for you. That's one of my guys that I've been following. I think he's going to have big end of the season for you.
Yeah, Terry's been awesome this year. For sure, with Jaden Daniels. All right, so my second guy is Christian McCaffery. CMC's been decent in his return, but he hasn't boomed like he did last year. 2 weeks ago, he scored 16 points, and last week he scored 14. That's pretty low from what he was scoring last year, but I think he's about to go off sooner rather than later. He's averaging 21 touches a game. The 49ers are going to figure out this offense. I mean, they're 5-5 right now.
Right.
They're not even first in their division. The Cardinals are all the teams. I think CMC is going to have good games. I think you should definitely try to trade for CMC right now if their fantasy owners held on to him and they're struggling to get into the playoffs. Trade 2 players for CMC because this is the lowest his value is going to be. It's the last week of trades, so I would send a trade offer for CMC.
Yeah, I agree. CMC is looking healthy. He's looking good. I don't see any signs of him having any issues of being slowed down or giving him 20 touches. And the 49ers, the only way they're going to get into the playoffs is through CMC. They're going to have to, use him as their workhorse to get him into the playoffs. I agree. He's a great breakout play as well. So my breakout play is going to be Jameson Williams. The reason why I like him, he's a young, fast receiver on the Detroit Lions. They're putting up points. They're the second highest scoring team in the NFL. They're averaging over 30 points a game. And Jameson Williams is one of those down the field, just throw it over everyone's head, and he's going to put up big numbers for you. I'm excited. He's going against the Colts this weekend. The Colts is their 27th passing defense. So that's not a good number going up against one of the best NFL offenses in the league right now. So I like Jameson Williams as a breakout player.
It's not one of. They are the best offense right now. They're the best team right now. So
yeah,
Jameson has extreme upside for sure. All right, my last breakout player is Justin Herbert. Herbert has really turned it around the last half of the year. Last 4 games, he scored 24, 19, 19, and 24 again. The last 6 games, he's averaging 268 yards a game. And the thing I love the most is he's only turned the ball over once. So he's playing clean and he's playing good ball right now. The Chargers are legit. They're playing for a playoff spot. And their schedule gets tough. He plays the Ravens, who aren't that great secondary. The Chiefs just had a tough loss, but it's that division game. They're going to be back and forth. And the Bucs, they're playing for the playoffs. And the Broncos have been a surprise. They're playing for a playoff spot. So all those games are fighting for playoffs. Herbert's going to have to take it up in their level for the Chargers to keep rolling. And he's a great value at quarterback. He was probably on your waivers 2 weeks ago. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I love Herbert the rest of the year.
Oh, yeah. I think Herbert's finally living up to expectations when he come into the NFL. Such a great-looking quarterback, great size, great arm, and now he's starting to perform and look good. Like you said, the Chargers are fighting for a playoff spot, so they're going to have to throw to get into the playoffs and win games. So I agree. I think he's a great play.
Yeah.
I like him a lot. So my third breakout player is going to be Jauan Jennings from the 49ers. He's going against Green Bay. The pack is 15th in passing yards given up. I like Jauan Jennings is because this guy come in last 2 weeks. This last week he put up 25 fantasy points, and the week before he's put up 16. This guy is getting targeted. He got targeted 11 times this last week. He had 10 receptions for 91 yards and a touchdown. He's putting up big numbers. And the 49ers are going to have to score points to win games to get into the playoffs. And Jauan Jennings looks like their wide receiver 1. He looks better than Deebo Samuel, so I like Jauan Jennings.
Yeah, talk about Deebo. We can talk about players to panic about, but he's not one of my guys. But my first guy for the panic meter is Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt just has worst game of this year. He had 14 carries for 60 yards and 0 catches against the Bills. Isaiah Pacheco is set to come back this week against the Panthers. I think they're going to ease him into it, maybe this week and next week, but he's going to take over that backfield. He's their bell cow type of back for this team, like he was earlier in this season before he got hurt. Kareem's upside is small. I mean, like I said, it might take a couple weeks, or after that, Hunt, best chance is red zone work and goal line. Like, he has to fall in the end zone to get value out of him. So panic meter, I'd say, is 8 out of 10 if I don't have Pacheco. And if I do, I'm just putting Pacheco into a spot.
Yeah, I agree with Kareem Hunt as being a panic player because you're right, Pacheco's coming back. Kareem Hunt looked good, and that's because the ineffectiveness of the other running backs that they put in, so they made Kareem Hunt as their 3-down back. But this team loves Isaiah Pacheco, and he's going to take over his role as the number 1 running back there. Now, they might ease him into it, so you might squeeze out a week or maybe 2 out of Kareem Hunt, but Pacheco ultimately is going to take over the number 1 running back. So, yeah, he's definitely a panic guy. I want to say he's definitely at that 8 mark just because he's going to lose all of his value. And we're going into the playoffs. So you don't want a guy that
Yeah.
is not a starter
Yeah.
playing for you. So he's definitely a panic. So my panic player is going to be Kyren Williams. Now, I'm worried that this guy might be slowing down. He leads the NFL at the running back position on snaps. This guy has been out on the field 98% of the offensive snaps for the Rams. So is he slowing down? He touches the ball. He averages about 20-plus touches a game. I think maybe he's starting to slow down a little bit. The last 3 weeks, he put up 10 fantasy points for you, 11 fantasy points, and this last week he put up 8.6. Now, he had 86 rushing yards, but if he's not getting in the end zone,
it's just 8 points.
Yeah, it's just 8 points. So Kyren Williams is a little touchdown dependent because he's not getting the receptions like he was at the beginning of the year. So I'm panicking a little bit. He's going against the Eagles this week. The Eagles defense is looking great this year. They're 5th in rushing defense, and they're number 1 in total defense. So the Eagles are playing phenomenal. I think they're going to shut down Kyren Williams, and I'm panicking on him. I'm about a 5.5. I can't go any higher than that because he does play so much and he gets so many touches, but I'm just scared about he's not putting up those high RB1 numbers for you. He's not up to the 18s, the 20 points a game. If he's going to be at the 10 mark, he's he's like a flex running back for you.
Yeah.
So I'm panicking on that.
Yeah, I would agree, like a 5.5 out of 10 for my panic meter on Kyren. All right, my second guy is Jonathon Taylor. Anthony Richardson started, and he played his best game as a pro after getting benched because he was too tired as a quarterback. Anyways, scored twice on the ground, stole 2 touchdowns from Taylor. This is similar to the Eagles, but they have a running quarterback who runs the ball in a bunch, but the Colts offense is not nearly as good as the Eagles. So I'd be worried. The Colts are 18th in scoring offense, and they're 19th in red zone offense. So Taylor's not getting the opportunities to score a touchdown. Then you have Anthony Richardson, who's his best part about his game is running the ball. So that sucks. I'm not too worried about Taylor because he's still getting consistently 20 touches a game. 20 carries 3 out of the last 4 games. So I'd give it a 5 out of 10 on the panic meter. Just touchdowns are huge, man. You want your running backs to score touchdowns and be an offense that gives you a lot of opportunities to score.
Right. Jonathon Taylor is a panic player because if Anthony Richardson's going to keep playing and be the starting QB for the Colts, his best attribute is running the ball, right? He's not a great passer. We've all seen that. That's why they benched him, because he couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat throwing the ball. So I think that Jonathon Taylor is going to lose some production with Anthony Richardson's out there, because when they get in the red zone, he's going to tuck the ball and he's going to run. He's going to fall in the end zone. So he's going to steal those touchdowns that are golden for you away. Yeah. So I'm not panicking that much about Taylor because he still gets about 20 touches a game, and that's what you want for a running back. But I'm nervous about his ceiling. What's he going to score for you? Is he going to be that consistent 15-point, or is he going to get into the 20s? So I think he's a panic guy, and I want to be I'm with you on that. I'm about a 5 on the 5 out of 10. So I'm panicking on him as well.
Yeah.
So my second panic guy is going to be Malik Nabers for the Giants. They just announced that they benched Daniel Jones, and they're going to go with Danny DeVito, the Penguin. Tommy DeVito. And I'm just worried of what's this Giants offense going to look like. I mean, at start of the season, Malik Nabers looked like the rookie receiver of the year. He looked great. He was putting up about 20 fantasy points a game. Now he's only averaging, about 12 points a game. 12. So his ceiling was high at the beginning of the year. Now it's low.
Yeah.
He's kind of like a good floor player. He's going to get volume as far as targets and looks, but he ain't going to put up big numbers, and he's probably not going to score many touchdowns for you. I'm panicking on Malik Nabers. I'm scared to play him. He's really, to me, only a flex play.
Right.
He's not a wide receiver 1 like he was at the beginning of the year, or maybe a wide receiver 2. I think he's a flex play at best.
Yeah.
So my panic on him is probably a 7.5 to 8.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Malik Nabers is definitely a 7 or 8 out of 10. And the Giants, it's clear that they're tanking and they want to draft a quarterback. They want to restart. They want to get away from Daniel Jones. I mean, how dumb do they look? You're seeing Saquon run wild, and now Daniel Jones is their third string quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, what a mess.
Yeah, they made a mistake, especially with the way these rookie QBs are looking this year, with Jaden Daniels lighting it up, Bo Nix lighting it up. They all look good.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Giants really made a mistake on not picking a QB.
Right. All right, so my last guy is a quarterback, and it's Patrick Mahomes. This is the worst we've seen Mahomes play in his career. He's turned the ball over in every game except for 2 games. He's QB 15 now, and a lot of people drafted him as QB1 fantasy. He's not a must-start quarterback with how that Chiefs offense is rolling. They haven't been winning games because of their offense. They're winning games because their defense is elite this year, and they're just making the right plays at the right time. Mm-hmm. Here's some quarterbacks I would rather play over Mahomes: Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, Lamar, Brock Purdy, Burrow, Jaden Daniels, a rookie, Bo Nix, another rookie, Justin Herbert, a guy I was just talking about, CJ Stroud. I think he's going to play better since Nico Collins is back, and Jared Goff. That's 10 guys I would rather play. And you could argue Tua. The Dolphins are starting to click now. They just scored 30 points for the first time. Matthew Stafford, he has Puka and Cooper Kupp. I think he's going to score a decent amount a week. Sam Darnold, he's not Sammy D from the Jets. He's starting to play better again. Drake May, who's been pretty good too, another rookie quarterback. He scored 20 points, something Mahomes hasn't done in a while. And Jordan Love, I mean, if he's not throwing it to the other team, he's pretty decent at football. So, panic meter for Mahomes, I'd go 8.5 out of 10, which is scary because a lot of guys were picking him as QB1 fantasy.
Oh, for sure. For sure. He is a big panic guy. I don't even think he's playable anymore. I think like you said, you named off a bunch of players that I'd rather start over him. I put him on the bench and look around. I would play Bo Nix every game more than him because Patrick Mahomes is a great NFL quarterback and he wins games. He does things that he needs to do to win games. But like you said, Kansas City doesn't need to score 40 points because their defense is so good. All they need to score is about 17 points a game and they're going to win, which means Patrick Mahomes' touchdowns are down. He's not throwing that multiple plus touchdowns a week anymore. He throws 1.
Yeah.
He averages probably 1 touchdown a week. He's not that high. He's a benchable player. He's a definitely panic player. I don't even know if you start him anymore. We're going into these fantasy playoffs, and I would look around. You could find a guy on the waivers to put up 15 points for you.
Yeah. Also, Patrick Mahomes has 15 touchdowns and 10 picks.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Yeah, he's such a great player in the NFL, but for your fantasy teams anymore, he's no longer that superstar.
Right. 100% agree with you.
He's at least an 8.5 because he's not playable.
Right. But, all right, guys, that wraps up the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please comment down. We'd love to hear your players that you're high on or your players that you're worried about. Love to hear from you guys. Please, we are getting closer and closer to 1,000 subscribers. I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed. It'd mean a lot to us. All right, guys, we'll see you next time. Peace.